We never really studied in the college. In Goldman Sachs, I was rejected in like third round maybe. Yeah. PC overall was 8.5 LPA. I had to learn Data Factory, Databricks, and all the other Azure tech stack on big data. This was a major challenge, to just one basic certification of GCP is Associate Cloud Engineer. From AWS, it's Solution Architect Associate. I pretty much use AI. I love AI.
So switching from service-based companies to product-based companies, specifically for the data engineering role, definitely not a easy task because data engineering has evolved a lot. And when you target the product-based companies, top tier 1 companies, then these companies demands more and more things from a data engineer in terms of the technical skills, experience, project experience, and a lot more things. Hence, cracking the top product based company is definitely not going to be a piece of cake, but over the period of time with experience these things are possible, and our guest speaker has made it possible. So watch this podcast till the very end because our guest speaker will be sharing all his experience and journey, that how he switched from the service based companies to product based for the data engineering role and back the mind blowing salary package. You will get this information in the podcast. So he will guide you in this podcast that what all things you can work on with respect to the preparation skills, and most important part, the cloud data engineering tech stack, what all things he focus on, how these companies are asking things in the interviews, AI impact on the data engineering, and many other important topics which can help you in your preparation, and it will definitely help you to plan your roadmap to become a data engineer in 2024. And a very important announcement for all the aspiring data analysts. I know you all were waiting for our new batch of data analyst bootcamp very eagerly. And finally, the wait is over because on Grow Data Skills, we have recently launched our Data Analyst 3.0 bootcamp with few really amazing advancements, because the data analyst spectrum skill set has changed a lot, specifically after the introduction and the boom of AI. And that is the reason we have included these demanding and booming tech stack in our bootcamp, like Azure, how to do the data analytics on Azure cloud, AI and Copilot, like how you will be using the AI as a data analyst in your day-to-day job activities, how you will be creating the AI powered dashboard, Excel, and lot more things. So the bootcamp has been launched and the live classes are going to start from the 20th of July 2024, and this is open for all. No prerequisite are required, no basic programming SQL kind of understanding are required. Doesn't matter what kind of background you are coming for. And I have been saying this, the data analyst profile is the most easiest way to get into the data analytics plus the IT industry. So if you are coming from non-tech, sales background, BCom, BA, any kind of background, just get into this bootcamp. And in this 3 months of bootcamp, you will be learning everything from basic to advanced. So link has been given in the description, or you can visit www.growdataskills.com. And for my YouTube family and for first 50 users, we are running the exclusive discount offer, and you can use a code FIRST50 to get this amazing offer. So hurry up and enroll really fast because there will be limited number of seats in this bootcamp. All these data analyst related skills and tech stack we will be learning in the live classes, and we will be having the live doubt session after the classes itself. And the best part of this bootcamp is the industry level of project which will solidify your portfolio, and with the help of this thing you can crack your dream job in the data analyst role very easily. So we have made this quality bootcamp really affordable for you, and recently one of our alumni has bagged 2.17 CR job offer from the Walmart USA, and many other success stories on your screen. So enroll right now if you also want to do the same. So thank you so much, Rubin, for joining me in this podcast. Really excited to have a discussion about your journey in the data engineering domain. It would be really good if you can give a short introduction about yourself, anything you want to discuss about your current and past background.
First of all, thank you for giving the opportunity, to invite me in your podcast. So yeah, I'm Rubin Shah. I am based out of Bangalore right now. So my educational background is that I've completed my engineering from SGS, ITS, and or in computer science, and I'm working as a data engineer currently in Moneyview, while I have worked for Sastango and Quantify Analytic Solutions.
Tell us something about your college life, how it went for you as a typical engineering student. After that, how the hustle was, how did you get your first job, first salary? So let us walk through with that.
Yeah, so it was like I started my college in 2016, right? So after studying for JEE, so just landing up into a good college, decent one, it was like fun, man. So we always, we never really studied in the college. It was like 2 days back before the exam we studied and then we passed out. So the coding journey started back in like when I was in third year. So there was this ecosystem called a Coders Club of SGSITS. I was pretty much keen towards that. So I started that, and then I started my design analysis of algorithms and all the coding stuff which any engineering student would go ahead with. Started from third year, continued it, carried on. I was a badminton player as well, so I was more into badminton than into any coding. But currently, I am here, left badminton and joined back the coding culture. So yeah, that's how the coding thing started when I was in engineering college. And when there was this placement season in our college in the final year, so Quantify Analytics was, I guess, second or third company after Goldman Sachs. So in Goldman Sachs, I was rejected in like third round maybe. Yeah. So it was quite I wasn't really very good coming out of that situation. But then I landed up into Quantify, cleared all the three profiles. It was business analytics and it was data engineering and it was machine learning engineer. So my interest was more towards machine learning engineering and data engineering in Quantify. But then after screening and everything, I eventually land up into data engineering profile. So this is how the journey began and it ended from the college.
How about the salary part? Like how much did they offer typically in your college?
So my first job in Quantify, the CTC overall was 8.5 LPA, in which 6.5 LPA was fixed and 2 lakhs was the joining bonus.
So seems like a very good start. I mean, usually with this profile in the college placement, it's difficult to get that one. How did your journey start as a full-time data engineer? What's so interesting about this profile that you convinced yourself that okay, let's go for this particular domain? Because as you mentioned, in college time you were into the coding, then another option was software engineering typically, right? So how did it happen for you?
So it was like, when I was in Quantify, they had given us open opportunities to be a platform engineer, to either be a data engineer or to machine learning engineer. Even like we were selected for a particular profile, but they provided training for 2 months. It was sort of internship, and I was COVID batch, right? So it was all remote. So we had a lot of chance to explore different things, right? So I worked on all the things. I worked on machine learning, worked on cloud platform thing, and the data engineering. So data engineering did the inclination towards data engineering went ahead only when I was given a challenge to convert this 𝗲𝗏 file into a data frame, and then to ingest the data in a particular RDBMS, and then a visualization on Power BI tools. So that was one of the assignments which we had gone through in our training period only. So that really excited me, because you do all the things. You write your code in PySpark or any other language. You can code, you can do the analysis of the data, and you can prepare the data for someone who is actually going to do analytics on it. So it's like multi-purpose thing, right? So data engineering was that that thing which really excited me because of all these things. So when I realized that data engineering is a bridge between a raw data and into a machine learning machine learning usable data, right? So this bracket of entire data engineering and the umbrella of all the technologies which I had back in Quantify, it let me know that okay, I am made for data engineering. Since then, it's been 4 years. I have not been into any other thing than data engineering. I actually thought of joining as a software engineer in one of the MNCs. But I really ignored it because again, data engineering was some sort of inclination. So that's how I landed up here.
Starting from 2020, maybe considering your first company, in between, I'm assuming you also have worked at multiple places. So what experience and challenges did you face in your data engineering journey, starting from the analytics profile, and how did you grow yourself in a maybe top-notch data engineer who has cracked the product-based companies?
So there were certain challenges when because the previous companies were service-based companies. Those were not product-based companies, right? So when I was in Quantify, I was working on healthcare project. So the data which we had handled, that was entirely DICOM images and certain medical images, right? So we need to do transformations, or we used to do all sorts of data engineering on those images, right? While the other company which you mentioned was 𝗏𝗏𝗡, that's based out of Indore. So in that project, in that company, I was working on a blockchain based product. So that client was a blockchain giant, that was a decentralized data warehouse. So the data was entirely different. So all the learnings which I had in Quantify was either on GCP or on AWS, right? Along with the data engineering skills. While in 𝗏𝗏𝗡, I was totally working on Azure. That the profile was Azure data engineer. I had to learn Data Factory, Databricks, and all the other Azure tech stack on big data. So this was a major challenge, to just start from one particular thing, ending up into a different one, and then eventually gaining the knowledge of all the things, and then again coming back to a new company, which was MoneyView. So the recent company is a product based company called MoneyView. So they are into loan lending business, right? So it's a fintech product. So transitioning from a service based to product based, and it is itself like a bit of challenge, but not much. Things are different. Jira tickets are different. Stories are different. Here, more emphasis is on innovations, right? While in service-based company, it's like whatever client has said, you have to do that. You cannot go up and say that, okay, dude, this is wrong. I think this particular solution will be better. You cannot do that in a service base. Like, even if you can, it's almost unlikely that this particular client will allow it. But in MoneyView or in any product-based company, that's a liberty which you give. So that was again a different thing which I had experienced. Well, coming on to challenges, right? So correspondingly, like in data engineering, particularly in the technology, I didn't face any challenge, to be honest, because it's like work is almost same everywhere. You just have to get ready with the data, and you just have to get along with the company culture. That's it. It's no difference. And anyway, like in Quantify, I had almost a startup and a service-based experience altogether. So that really helped me. Yeah, this is the journey. Not really any challenges, but yeah, transitioning between technologies was one of them.
Now, if I have to ask about, let's say, the compensation part, so started from the 8 LPA at this experience level, on an average, in the product-based companies, a data engineer, how much compensation they can get. And if you want to give some idea about the freshers as well, like, okay, you are a fresher, if you are targeting product-based companies, expect this much of salary. I'm asking these stats so that they are not getting lowballed, because recruiters are pro in that.
True. See, that depends first of all on how much you start with. Okay, so if you start with a decent 5 to 6 or around 10 LPA, then probably like in 4 years of experience, if you join any product-based company, you can get around 40 LPA, including like stocks or anything. So it's like a good compensation, yeah. And if you even get a chance to work remote, that's a plus, right? You can save more. So this is how you can. While like if you're doing one single switch, probably you'll land up with around 25 LPA maybe. Like this is my second switch, so a slight higher range of bracket I fall in. But if you switch in like 2 companies in 4 years, that makes sense. That does not count much of switches, right? So yeah, and if a fresher would join as a data engineer into a product-based company, right? So they can expect around like 15, 16 LPA easy, because markets have changed for data engineering. Earlier it was not like this. Now it's like growing exponentially. So 15, 16 should be expected, any product-based company.
And considering the growth of data engineering as a profile and as a big spectrum, what is the ideal roadmap to become a data engineer and start your journey in 2024? There are obviously hundreds of things, like if you start exploring data engineering, right, there are tons of things to study, but an ideal roadmap for someone to kickstart their journey.
Okay, I would say that when I was in Quantify, the most important thing which we had worked on was cloud platforms, first of all. So see, what I feel is that any engineering grad who's into any product, like any IT company, not even product or service, any IT company, right? He must know some coding language, right? Be it Java, be it Python, right? So any data engineer would work mostly on Python, PySpark, SQL, right? All of these technologies are the basics of data engineering, right? But apart from that, what stands you out of the crowd is the cloud knowledge. Like if you have cloud knowledge, right, that really adds up on your profile. Like starting from a Python background and then learning SQL, PySpark or maybe Spark with Scala. This is easy. This does not take time, and almost like all the people can learn PySpark. That's not a rocket science, But understanding the architecture or understanding how big data technology works, what is the importance of big data along with the cloud, and what are all the cloud services such as data warehousing, inclusive of BigQuery, Redshift, and all those technology stuff on AWS and GCP or Azure. This will really add up on the profile. Like this is somewhere a person looking into data engineering should start from, because current market trend, what I feel is that core data engineering is not really appreciated much. Like everyone wants us to work or know or have an expertise in either of the cloud platforms available. Right? So mostly AWS is in the current market trend, but Azure and GCP are also catching behind. So it's like having knowledge of cloud plus PySpark or Spark along with Python and SQL. This is the basic tech stack which I believe should be in. Plus a certification if you can have. So one basic certification of GCP is Associate Cloud Engineer, and from AWS it's a Solution Architect Associate. So these two can give you good knowledge on cloud, while there is one more certification called GCP Professional Data Engineer. So this certification can also give you certain good knowledge of cloud platforms along with the data engineering.
When you compare the interview process of service-based company with the product specifically for data engineering, it's different. Since you have cracked these companies, so would you like to throw some light on the interview process for this much of experience? Like if you can give a brief, like, okay, expect these many interview rounds, and in this specific round you will be expected to answer these things, you will be asked these topics. So please share that.
There are two things. First of all, so if you are having an experience of at least 2 years, so the interview process is almost same. What I felt is, so there are like in Moneyview, which I am in right now. So I had around 5 rounds of interview. First round was coding round. That was pure data structures and algorithms round. Second round was high level design. Third round was low level system design. So this is like any product based company follows this trend of first three rounds of filtering. Then fourth round was my hiring manager round. So that hiring manager round was purely on the basis of data engineering. And then the fifth round was HR round. Right? While when I switched to 𝗲𝗏, so that was a service based company, there they had first round of Python and coding. So it was clubbed between Python and data structures. Second round was mostly on GCP and AWS. So there were two interviewers. First interviewer was for GCP. He was a DevOps guy, and the second interviewer was for AWS. That was again a DevOps guy. And there was this final round. So because they had a project in their pipeline, so the interview process was only for 3 days. So it was really very fast. The third round was taken by the CTO itself. It was like half an hour of round, and we discussed majorly on data engineering and how I'll be working. So what I feel is that if you go for a product based company, the interview process will be a bit lengthy. It will be a bit more challenging because there will be a lot of rounds, and they will be judging you not only on the basis of your technical skills, but also on the basis of your problem solving skills. Also, if it's a startup, then there's a behavioral round as well, in which they check for the culture fit, if you're really a culture fit or not. Because I can tell you this, because I cracked Rupeek previous to like last year. So before joining 𝗲𝗏, I was about to join Rupeek. That's again a loan lending application. They give gold loans. So there I had this culture fit round, in which I was interviewed by one of the senior members of the company, and he tested me if I would be a good fit for their talent pool, or if I'll be a good fit for their company, because they wanted to check the mentality and stuff. So this is how interview process goes.
You talked about that HLD LLD part. I have been getting this question as well. So usually is it going to be a typical software engineering application system design question or a pipeline data pipeline design question? If you can clarify that.
So I guess, you must be ready for both of them. Like
Okay.
that's a very objective answer which I'm gonna give, because I have interviewed with a lot of companies then. So one of those company actually asked me to do a system design of Book My Show, any movie
I
booking
see.
application. While the other person, like the other company, those guys asked me that, okay, you have to design a data pipeline, and this is the source, and this is the destination. You just have to stream the data and ingest it into a certain database. So it depends. It depends on the interview. But ideally, like any HLD LLD round, you should be ready for both. If you're a good data engineer, you anyway know the data pipeline architecture. But concepts of OOPS and other software engineering is also must.
If someone is targeting the cloud data engineering profile specifically, then what is the ideal approach? And I'll tell you why I am asking this question, because from the beginner perspective, I will be having this doubt. Three major cloud platforms are there: AWS, GCP, and Azure. Which one I should start? Maybe in the beginning, I can have a thought, okay, let's say I start with AWS. I have a good grip into that one. What if other companies asking GCP and Azure? Will they shortlist me for the interview? If they will, then how I'm gonna treat it in the interviews?
This is one of the questions, which I always used to ask myself. So, as per my experience, all the cloud technologies are relative to each other. So, it's like React Native. You deploy the applications on Android and on iOS with the same code. So it's like every cloud platform provides similar sort of services. It's just that the names are different. Concepts are same. Data warehousing part, I guess it's different in all the cloud platforms, but all the other services are really same. So let's say if a person is into AWS, he has a grip, and now he wants to join a company, but that company is demanding for Azure. Just have to do nothing. He just have to find all the analogous services which Azure is giving, which are on AWS. And so for example, if the interview is specifically related to Azure, so you can focus on Databricks and Data Factory. So that's gonna be an add-on. Otherwise, all the other AWS services are similar to what Azure offers. Similarly, on GCP, he can focus on BigQuery, while the other technology stack or services of these two cloud platforms are same. So I'll just give one more thought on it. So it's like, if any person wants to be a cloud data engineer, you just have to excel in one cloud platform. I started personally with GCP and AWS. I then worked with Azure. Now I'm working again in GCP and AWS, but I still remember Azure. So it's like, just go through once. There are a lot of documentations which are available of the official websites. So it's just that, just go through it, read, and just go interview. Just excel in one cloud platform. Every company, these guys have at least like one or two members who knows more than one cloud platform. So that's not going to be a hurdle on the interview. It's just that if the company is emphasizing on that, just read about it and go. You'll crack it.
There were a lot of conversation, I guess, and I still get it here and there that okay, AI is there, because whenever even I start the boot camps of the data engineering, their question is like, what is the benefit of reading all these things, because AI is there. Data engineering jobs won't be much relevant, data analyst job won't be much relevant because AI can do everything. So what's your take on this one? Or probably I can ask how much AI you are using, how much data engineering efforts of your have been replaced by the AI?
First of all, this statement which people give, right, that AI will replace anyone's job, this is sham, man. This will not happen anytime, according to me. I would say the opposite. So AI actually is helping in our jobs. I'll give you an example. So you asked me that how much AI do I use? I use AI daily. What I feel is that earlier when I used to spend 4 hours to make a data pipeline, now it's like a matter of 30-40 minutes. The raw code or raw pipeline is given to me by the AI. I just write a prompt, I receive the solution, I implement that solution, but optimizing it and using the correct services is on me, right? So it never replaced anything. I optimized, I used my brain and I optimized the solution, and then gave out a easier or maybe the most optimized solution which I could give. Right? I could still give the same solution, but I would have to do certain sort of research on internet. I would have to scroll, read certain articles or documentations, and then probably implement it. But AI made it simple. I use AI as a blessing. I never think that AI will be, it'll eat our jobs. I never think so. I pretty much use AI. I love AI.
These things are getting integrated on the platform. If you even talk about the, let's say, Snowflake, you talk about the Databricks, they have integrated the AI assistants there, which is helping. Just give a prompt, it will write a code for you, and if there is a error, you can diagnose it.
You use all your experience along with the AI help. That's anyway add on to your experience only. Any person who's watching this podcast and still thinks that AI can, take away the jobs of data engineers, I really don't think so. Data engineers are having a very safe job and a very important job. So it's like the almost like any company which is into analytics, they must have a data engineer, right? So it's like a very good market right now, and AI is a help.
Cool. That was really wonderful, Rubin. I must say, all your experience have been super informative, wonderful, and I hope everyone who is watching this, they have got the important information that how someone can prepare for the product-based companies and how they can start. So, thank you so much for joining us in this podcast and sharing your wonderful experience with us, and a big thanks from my side and from the entire audience side.
Thank you, Shashank, for inviting, and it was really, it was a really good experience while talking to you and getting to know you better. You know how you are helping a lot of data engineering aspirants out there. I also watched your videos sometimes, when I was planning to switch. So your videos are really informative, and it was just a give back to the audience. So thanks a lot for inviting me.
So that is what I had for all of you in this amazing podcast. I'm pretty sure you have enjoyed the entire journey of Rubin and how he transitioned from the service-based company to product and got massive job offer with the massive salary for the data engineering role. If you found it informative, make sure to give a like in the big numbers, and if you have any opinion and thoughts, put it in the comment section. And if you are new to the channel, then make sure to smash the subscribe button and press the notification icon. And don't forget to enroll yourself in the Data Analyst 3.0 with Azure AI and Copilot Bootcamp, where you will be learning everything in 3 months from basic to advanced and will become the top 1% of the data analyst. So hurry up, you can visit www.growdataskills.com, or the link has been given in the description. Check that out, and a special offer for my YouTube family. Use coupon code FIRST for amazing offer. See you soon in the live classes.